So when I click it here, these three dots, oops, see these three dots,
Yeah.
playback speed,
Oh,
and then you can make it slower.
okay. I don't think I noticed
You
that.
gotta press those three dots.
Okay. I don't think I was aware of that. Okay.
Yeah.
I know I
No,
was
it's fine.
Okay.
Totally fine.
Okay.
That was an easy one.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty.
It's whatever came on the computer. I don't even know. There we go. Hi, Marcy.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I couldn't remember who said they were not going to be here, who said they were going to be here today.
I thought I was going to be late because I have my Shabbos group meets every couple months and we have dinner together tonight, and I had to make cheesecake, and I went to make it this morning and opened my cream cheese. It was moldy. So I had to run to the grocery store, and I live in the country, so it's not real close to a grocery store. But I made it, and it's done. It's cooling.
Oh, good. Yay.
Yeah. How are you?
Good, good, good. We were just talking about the weather. We've got extremely warm weather here on the East Coast.
Oh yeah, we're at a high of 80 today. I've been out all week doing stuff in my yard when I wasn't working.
Yeah, we have a high of 88 up here in Jersey. And Barbara, how about you guys in Virginia?
In DC, we're right now it is 82.
Yeah, so I was talking to my team in Charlotte, and I said it's going to be 88 here. They're like, it's only going to be 85. The high is supposed to be 85 here today. They're like, you're warmer than us.
But then we're going down to, I think, a high of 71 tomorrow and rain, and then back in the 60s, which is more normal.
I didn't even look at the weekend weather, I don't even realize that it's the weekend. It's a good thing that I remembered to come on here because no, we have no precipitation till Sunday the 21st.
Wow.
How do you like that?
That's too far out.
We got a lot of rain.
See all my little clouds, but no rain. Precipitation 0.000 until the 21st.
And that's not reliable.
And that's only 21%. Oh, this isn't reliable. Of course not. It could rain tomorrow, and
Well, I mean, that far out, it's not a reliable forecast.
No. And it's, it's reliable to some extent, but if the clouds come, that's what happens. So
where is everybody today?
I don't know. Hold on one second. I'm getting a call.
I had a little trouble signing on. It might be related to that. So you're in DC, Barbara?
Yes.
In the DC proper or suburb?
You bet. Between DuPont Circle and the zoo.
Oh, wow. Right downtown. I have friends that live in Virginia, and they live in Maryland, and they go into DC to work. But
right. A lot of people do that.
All right, let's get started. 1:36. Anybody comes late? This late?
Judy's on vacation. Isn't she in Japan or something?
Judy's on vacation, but I didn't remember everybody else. Do you remember everybody else, or?
No.
I know that Judy travels for work and often can't make it. That was true last fall.
Right. And Jamie usually tells us when she can't be here, and so does Anne. And here's Jamie.
Jamie's coming. I think I see her name. There she is. There's Jamie.
There she is.
I'm sorry, there's a leak upstairs.
Of course.
My son comes home from college and now all the cabinets warped.
Right.
Yeah.
Couldn't happen last week. Had to happen now.
Right. Well, no one used it until he came home. So yeah.
Oh, got it.
So, sorry, I was busy emptying everything. Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
No, it's fine. I just said, let's get started. Whoever comes late, comes late. And I couldn't remember if you had said you were going to be here or not going to be here and all of that. So, okay. And I said, usually Jamie lets us know when she's not going to be here.
Exactly.
And then you popped in. So, okay. So the Ashrei. Here in Lev Shalem, there's a nice little explanation of where we got the Ashrei from. Treasured by the ancient rabbis, it's recited 3 times a day. It was in liturgical use during the Second Temple, as attested by the Dead Sea Scrolls, where it appears with the congregational response. It begins and ends with personal verses of praise. In between, the author affirms God's sovereignty and insists that God's rule is one of love and compassion. 2 additional verses, both of which begin with the word Ashrei, which means joyous, were added to the opening, apparently in imitation of the book of Psalms itself, which opens with that word.
What page are you on?
I am on page 136 of Lev Shalem.
Okay.
The reference to God's house evokes those praying in this synagogue. It was appended to the end, transforming the prayer from the first person, singular, to plural, and thus creating a bridge to all the Hallelujah Psalms that follow, which are in the morning service, but not in the Musaf service, which is what we're looking at now. Ashrei is an alphabetical acrostic, even though it's missing a verse between the letter Nun and thus easy to memorize, which may help explain its popularity in Jewish liturgy. Many readers relate to individual verses more than the flow of the poem. And so that is key. You see how the first letter is bolded. Now, we didn't learn the alphabet like ABC and what comes first, what comes next, and that's okay. Here, it goes in the order of the Hebrew alphabet: Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Daled, Hey, Vav. And that in ancient times was very important because they didn't really have enough Sidurim for everybody, right? There might have just been one Sidur for the leader of the service, and everybody else kind of, mumbled and followed along. So this prayer was easy to remember because it is an acrostic. And so it was easier for everyone to follow along with the leader of the congregation. And that's why we have a leader of the congregation, because back in the day, that's the only person that had all the words to the prayers in front of him. Everybody else, was listening, following along in their heads. There's no real, they didn't have a Sidur for every person.
Do you think that's why it was kind of set to song? Because it was easier to recite than memorizing text is harder than singing a song.
Definitely. But I often wonder, like, how did they do the Amida without a prayer book, right? Like, it's a silent prayer. So how did they do that? I mean, it is 18 different prayers. So they probably were able to memorize those 18 prayers and then put their own prayers in between. So there are a couple of things that I will point out that people tend to pronounce incorrectly, but for the most part, the Ashrei, is one of the more authentic prayers, I think. It's something that in a lot of synagogues, the Ashrei is, at a bar mitzvah, the Ashrei is done by the next kid in line, right? Because it's a psalm as opposed to a prayer. And so you can have someone under bar mitzvah age read it. And so that's like sometimes, a child's claim to fame is that they did the Ashrei perfectly at their, when they were 5 at their brother's bar mitzvah or something like that. So, and it's responsive, but we're going to go through the whole thing so that we know all the words. It's going to take a little while, but I think it'll be beneficial. So
My synagogue, they rattled this off so fast. I can't even follow it with my finger. I wish they would not do that.
well, the good thing is that now that you know that it's an acrostic, if you get lost, you could find you could listen to the first word and find it. Not that you know the alphabet, but you could find it. You could be like, oh, that's a Daled. Hold on, let me find the Daled. Okay, that's where we were. now I could, you know what I mean? Maybe we're 2 lines ahead now, that sort of thing. So, okay. I'll start. Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha Od Yeha Lelucha Sela. Barbara, why don't you start us off?
Ashrei Yas Ve Vatecha Ad Vod
Oat,
Oat, of course,
right?
oat,
This takes on the vowel.
oat. V'hal lecha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
le, lucha. Lots of syllables in there.
do that one again.
Yeah, ha, le, lucha.
How come it's not Yahal syllable stop, Lucha?
Yeah,
Because you're saying it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 syllables, not
Right. Good question. Because there's two consonants together. So in order for it to flow better, it's yahal lucha, right? In order to read that word with the two together, I guess it would,
the
I
Hal.
think where we've had other words where we've had two consonants together with the shva.
Same. Okay.
Yahal la lucha. Sal la. Sela, Sela.
Mhm. Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo. Ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Elohav. Marcy?
Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Elohav.
Hav. Mhm. Tehillah LeDavid Aromimcha Elohei HaMelech Va'avarcha Shimcha Le'olam Va'ed. A lot, Jamie, sorry.
Tehillah LeDavid,
Mm-hmm.
Aromimcha Eloha,
Elohai.
Elohai, Elohai, Chai, not Chai, Elohai, Hamelech, Va'avarcha, Shimcha, Le'olam Va'ed.
Okay. I think we're going to go and do each phrase because it's a lot. Okay. Bechol Yom Avar See how there's a dot in here? This is one of the very few exceptions where this is a final kaf, not a final chaf. So you pronounce this ka. Avar cheka. And this is one of the places that you will hear people say avar checha. It's wrong, but they do it. It's, again, it's rote to them. But it's one of my pet peeves when they teach kids, when they teach younger kids, they're not teaching it properly. So, okay.
But is that
Yeah.
just because there's the
The dot.
the dot above the
See the dot inside the chaf? That makes it a kaf.
Okay.
And that's the same as the ka and cha, where there's a dot
Right.
in and which makes it ka instead of cha.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Bechol yom Avarcheka. Barbara?
Bachol Yom of Rovka. Avarcheka.
Avarcheka.
I can't get that.
It's hard. You got to go through it. You got to go over it and over it. Avarcheka.
Av var vecha.
Because it's a chet, not a bed, right?
Yeah.
Vecha, because of
Ha.
God.
Av var vecha.
This is cheka.
Vecha.
Cheka.
Vecha.
Okay.
I'm not comfortable with that.
I see that. It's okay. It's difficult. It's not easy. This is a cha, see the bat has a little tail on the end, right?
I know it's a che.
Okay. And this is ka,
Ka.
not cha, ka. Even though every other time that you've been here and you've pronounced it, it's been cha. But because there's a dot in it, it's ka. It's one of the very few exceptions.
Vecha. Vecha.
Ka.
Vecha.
Okay, I'm going to go on. You're
Why is that, Lymor? What's the word? What does it mean?
Good question. Let's see. Let's cheat. Every day I praise you, glorifying your name always. Oh, le'avarcheka. Bechol yom avarcheka. I praise you, right? So the root word is this, vet resh chet, right? So when you say Baruch ata Adonai, you're blessing. But you're blessing God. Every day I bless you, right? So these three letters are the blessing part. This is the hymn part.
And that's the same in the line above, just after the comma, the root avarcha.
Yep. Good
Okay.
job. Wow. Good job. Good job. Okay. Next phrase. Va'ahalela. Va'ahalela. Shimcha le'olam va'ed. Marcy.
Va'ahalela shimcha le'olam va'ed.
You got it. Gadol Adonai hulal me'od. Jamie?
Gadol Adonai hela me'od.
Okay. Velig du la to ein cheker. Slow, Barbara. We're going to do it.
Velu. Velig do lato
Good.
ein tagdo datado
Cheker.
eker.
Okay. Dor ledor yishabach ma'asecha. Marcy?
Dor ledor yishkach
Yishabach.
yishabach ma'asecha. secha.
Perfect. Ug vu ro techa yagidu. It's Jamie.
Ug vuro techa vegidu.
Yagidu.
Yagidu.
Perfect.
Yagidu.
Hadar kevod hodecha. Barbara.
Hadar. Kido. Kidor.
Kevod.
Kevot. Kevot hodecha.
Perfect. Vediv Ray Nif Lo Techa Asicha. Marcy.
The divrei nif lo techa ashicha. Asicha.
Perfect.
I have my contacts in today, my glasses. I just
All right.
I can't read this so well. I gotta get
All
going.
good, all good. Should I make it bigger? Let's see if I can make it bigger.
Oh, that would help.
When I share my screen, okay, let's see how much bigger I can make it. Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
that's great.
Oh, that's better. That's
Yeah.
definitely better.
Okay,
That's very helpful. Thank you. So,
okay. So now we're here, okay? Ve'ezuz no o techa yomeru. Jamie?
Ve'ezuz nor techa yomeru.
Perfect. Ug du la techa asap rena. Barbara, two very difficult words, but ug
Du la techa
perfect.
sa ga re na.
You got it. All right. Zecher Rav Tuvcha Yabiu. Mercy.
I have a question on the third word. Oh, never mind. I see it now. Okay. Zecher Rev. No, Rav. Is that Rav? Rav?
Rav
Okay. Suvcha.
two. That's
So
it.
it doesn't have the dot.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
Suvcha Yab. Is that B?
Uh-huh. Yep. B.
Yabiu.
Perfect. So this is the tat. This is the samach. See the difference?
Yeah.
The little opening at the top for the tat, but not the samach. Okay. The seed kat cha yeranenu. Jamie.
Sorry, I keep having to unmute. Vitseed hat ha lera yara benu.
Nenu. Yep.
Nenu.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to keep going, but I'm going to show you this in real time, right? So here we go. Ashrei yoshvei beitecha od yahalelu chasela. Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo. Ashrei ha'am shadonai Elohav. Tehillah leDavid. Aromimcha Elohai hamelech. Ve'avacha shimcha le'olam va'ed. Now I'm going to do it the way you hear it in shul. בכל יום אברכך ועלה שמך לעולם ועד. גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד ולי גדולתו אין חקר. Right? It's much faster.
Yeah.
All of these words that we're having to do syllable by syllable by syllable are done in a split second when you're in shul. And so I get how you can't follow along because it's so fast. So I think with this one, it's going to be so important to use that recording I send you and slow her down, right? Now I was just showing Barbara before you guys came on. Oops, now I have to find it.
I don't think you didn't send us this.
I didn't send you this. No, I'm going to send you this.
Okay, okay.
But I wanted to show you, I want to show them what I showed you,
Okay.
which is when you click on this, you're seeing this, right?
You-
Oops, that's the Liv Shalom. My bad. The recording.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol.
You click the three dots here, playback speed, and you can go,
Okay.
you can even go, right? So you go really slow, right? But this 0.5 is probably more of the speed you're going to want. And then you could speed it up to 0.75 once you're ready, and then to normal and well, right? So that's my suggestion on how to get familiar with this, because you're going to hear it at shul and you want to follow along at shul. So that's the best way. Personally, I don't care if you can sing this whole thing. It's not about the singing it for you. It's about following along. And eventually, if you
For
can
me, it's
follow
about,
along,
I want to participate and be able to go at the speed of the congregation. Do you think I think they seem to do this prayer in my shul at least faster than anything else. Do you think everybody reading this really is reading this? Do you think they've just memorized it because they've done it?
they've memorized it. I could do it for you with my eyes closed.
Okay, I don't feel so bad.
Right. No, they know it. They know it. Same thing with Birkot HaShachar, which is like, the first morning prayer, like Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani kol tzarki. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tzalmo. Right? Like we know those. Because if you say it enough times, you'll know it. This one is not so sing-songy, right? So it's not like this longish melody that you can actually follow along with. This is so fast, and the words are so complicated, right? Like Gadol Adonai u'me'olal me'od v'li gdulato ein cheker. Like that's hard. Like u'mehulal and v'li gdulato, lots of syllables. So someone just starting out reading, it's going to be really difficult. So I want to go over the words with you so you've got them, but your best bet is going to be to sit with that tape and sit with this and follow along and try to say the words as you say them, right? And so Marcy, if this is like your goal, this is going to take you a while to do.
Right.
And if you want to, do it so that you're doing the first 4 or 5 lines and repeating and repeating and repeating till you know them, and then going to the next ones, then maybe when you get to shul and you hear the first 4 or 5 lines and you're like, oh, I know that, it'll motivate you to do the rest of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's that's how I would approach it, but everybody's different. So depending on your goal, depending on your everything. Okay. So we were here. Okay. So we're going to go Chanun ve'rachum Adonai erech apayim ugdol chased. Okay, you see the kamatz katan here. So it's ugdol chased. Oh, I was going to do half a line at a time. I apologize. Chanun Verachum Adonai, Barbara.
Noon. Ha-ra-kun. Adonai.
Perfect. Erech Apayim Ugdol Chased, Marcy.
Erech Apayim Ugdol Hased.
Perfect. And see this little line? They want you to pronounce it Chased, not Chased, right? Not a big deal, but when you're singing it, you'll notice the big deal.
Ugdol Chased.
Yep. You'll hear people say Ugdal a lot. There's a couple of things in here where I'm telling you, you're going to hear them wrong, just so you know, because again, it's been done rote and that's how they do it. And even if you pointed it out to them, they wouldn't be able to change it because they know it so well. Okay. Tov Adonai La Kol. Jamie?
Tov Adonai Lakol.
Verachamav Al Kol Ma'asav. We'll do one at a time, Barbara. Verachamav
Verachamav.
Al
Al.
Kol
Kol.
Ma'asav.
Ma'asav.
I think people forget that I have this class and they like to call and text me during it. Okay. Next. Yoducha Adonai Kol Ma'asecha. Marcy?
So is that little line under it meaning I should emphasize Yodulcha?
Yep.
Okay. Adonai Kal Ma'asecha.
Yep. And that's Kol.
Kol. Okay.
Yep. Vechasidecha Yevarchucha. Jamie?
That's a mouthful.
I know.
Vahaste decha yavar chucha.
Yep. Yoducha Adonai Kol Ma'asecha Vechasidecha Yevarchucha. Now in real time. Yoducha Adonai Kol Ma'asecha Vechasidecha Yevarchucha. Right? It's so hard. It's so hard. And I sometimes think to myself, like an 8-year-old gets up there and does this. Like they practice just as much as the bar mitzvah boy.
I got to tell you, my shul we have on Saturday mornings, they bring in the children from that are in the in the school for the end of the service, and all the kids go up there and they do Ashrei, and they are rattling it off like it just makes you feel so inadequate, and then they all get licorice.
But they've memorized it. They've memorized it. So,
Right.
It's very hard to learn a new skill when you're older. Like this is just something that that is given to them rote and they do it. There are people that could rattle off their bar mitzvah portion. I couldn't do it, but there are people that can.
They were
because
talking
memorize.
about that on the show that you entered, Unorthodox.
Oh yeah, they were.
They just talked about that the last
were.
episode.
It's actually a tactic that they use in, the Israeli army when they do whatever their TSA is, right? When you enter into Israel and they'll ask you like questions, like, did you, or when you leave Israel, did you pack your bags yourself, whatever, but they'll ask you when you come into Israel, like, why are you here? And like, if you're not there to visit family, if you're not whatever, like, and they get a vibe of like, is this person really like, a legit person? They'll be like, what was your bar mitzvah portion? And the person will rattle it, will say it. And sometimes they'll even start singing it. I hear it all the time when I'm in line at customs. I'm like, that's hilarious. Like people will it's just something they feel is like it was like their path to Judaism, you know? It was part of their upbringing. So, okay. Hevod malchutcha yomeru. Barbara.
Kavod Malkuto
Malchut
Pecha
right?
Yameru.
Right. So Barbara said something because she's familiar with this, right? Kevod malchut cha is how you pronounce it. But see how there's two bigger dots under there? Because when you sing it, it's easier to utter something under there. So kevod malchut techa yomeru, right? It's just easier.
Yeah.
So, and I say that a lot, like in a lot of prayers, different people will utter different, it will utter an "a" instead of an "a," or you'll utter something with the shva when you're not supposed to,
Yeah.
because it goes better with the song. So, you know, that's okay. All right. Ug vu ra techa, but this is pronounced techa. Ye da beru. Mercy.
Ug vo ra. Wait. That's vu, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vu ratecha yada cheru.
Bay.
Beru.
Beru.
I still mix those up.
I know. It's hard.
Beru. No, by now I should know it.
Lehodia livnei ha'adam gevurotav. Jamie?
Lehudia livnei ha'adam gevurotav.
Perfect. Uchvod hadar malchuto. Barbara.
Uvod Hadar Malkuto.
Okay. This is another line that's a real tongue twister. Lehodia livnei ha'adam gvurotav uchvod hadar malchuto. Lehodia livnei ha'adam gvurotav uchvod hadar malchuto. Right? It's a mouthful. Okay. Malchut cha malchut kol olamim. Marcy.
Malchutcha, Malchut kol olamim.
Okay. U mem shal techa bechol dor vador.
Umem saltecha,
Shal.
umem shaltecha, bekol dor vador.
Perfect. All right. Somech Adonai lechol ha-noflim. Barbara.
Samech Adonai Laval
Chol
Lachol Ha Havo
this is a nun.
Hanu Hanulim
Ha-noflim.
Hanoflim.
Perfect. Vezokef lechol hakfufim. Lucy.
Okay. Vezo kef
Mm-hmm.
lachol hakfufim.
You got it. Einei chol elecha yesapek. Beirut, Jamie.
Eine Chol Elecha V'sa Beirut.
Yes, a Beirut.
Yesa Beirut.
Okay, now,
Emphasis on the bet.
yes, a Beirut,
Beirut.
yep.
Okay, Yesa Beirut.
Now on this one, the common mistake people make is they say kol. When it has no dot in it, it's chol. So you'll hear that a lot also. Okay. Ve'ata notain lahem. Let's just do those 3 words, Barbara. This is a long one.
Dehata no tain lahem.
Okay. And you're going to do the last 3, Barbara. I'll do them first. Et ochlam. That's a kamatz katan. Et ochlam be'ito, Barbara.
Et ach alam
Ochlam.
olam ba'ita
Be'ito.
be'ito.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. Here we are. Poteach. Remember our rule of the chet with the line under with the ah. Poteach et yadecha. Marcy.
Poteach et yadecha.
Umasbi'a lechol chai ratzon. Jamie.
Umas Pia Umas Bia Lechol Chai Ratzon.
Perfect. Sadiq Adonai Bechol Derachav. Barbara.
Zachol
Sadiq.
Zadik. I'm sorry. Zadik
Okay.
Adonai Bechol Zeravav
Derachav.
Zeravav.
That's a hard one.
Yeah,
Okay.
Zeravav.
Vechasid Bechol Ma'asav. Marcy.
Bechasiv bachol ma'asav.
Perfect. Karov Adonai Lechol Korav. Jamie.
Arov Adonai Lechol Korav.
Okay. Lechol Asher, Barbara.
Zechol Asher.
We're going to keep going, Barbara. Yik Ra Uhu.
Yikra Ahu.
Uhu.
Uhu. Yikra Uhu.
Be'emet.
Be'emet.
This is another one that when you do it fast is so confusing and you think that we've done 3 lines when we've only done 1. Karov Adonai lechol korav asher lechol asher yikreu be'emet.
Do that again.
Karov Adonai lechol korav lechol asher yikreu be'emet. Now, it's hard to do this yikreuhu, right? So you'll hear this. Karov Adonai lechol korav lechol asher yikreu be'emet. Yikreu. They'll completely go over the who. And that's okay, again, because they're doing it so fast. As opposed to yikreuhu be'emet. Harder. And they'll say be'emet instead of ve'emet, like I just did. Okay. Retzon, Yere'av, Ya'aseh. Marcy?
Retzon Yere'av Ya'asa. Ya'asa.
Uh-huh. Ve'et shav'atam yishma ve'yoshi'em, Jamie.
Uh-huh. Ve'et shav'atam yishma v'yoshi'am. Aim.
Mhm. Shomer Adonai et kol ohavav. Barbara?
Shomer Adonai et Baal Kol
Kol.
E
O.
O Va Vav
You got it. Good. Ve'et kol har sha'im yashmid, Marcy.
Va'et kol harshaim yashmid.
Right. And you see how they have this here? With the tune, it's easier to pronounce it, right? Ve'et kol hareshaim yashmid. Just how it's done. No rhyme or reason. Okay. Last few lines. Tehilat Adonai Yedaber P. Jamie.
Tehilat Adonai Yedaber P.
Perfect. Barbara. Vivarech
Viv Raye
Vivarech
Viv Raye
Kol Basar
Kol Vasar
Shame
Shame
Kocho
Ocho
Leolam Vaed.
Neolam Boed.
Perfect. Ve'anachnu nevarech ya, Marcy.
Va'anachnu nevareh
Nevarech.
nevarech yat
Yeah, that's it.
yat
Me'ata ve'ad olam hallelujah, Jamie.
Me ata va'ad olam hallelujah, but we say hallelujah.
Exactly.
And it's
Okay.
because the two lammets are next to each other, it seems. You kind of say the
Exactly. The
Okay.
first before the second.
Alle-
I guess it's an exception to the exception. So this is where the leader of the service will say this here, and then you'll say this. So this goes a little bit slower and you can kind of follow along. Ve'anachnu nevarech ya me'ata ve'ad olam hallelujah. A little bit slower. Now to me, when I hear this, what it says to me is in Musaf, they're about to pick up the Torah. So everybody kind of stands like towards the end of this line, because the next thing on the next page is that we pick up the Torah. There's a bunch of hallelujahs here and whatever, but we pick up the Torah next to return it to the ark. So in my shul, we have a very zealous Gabbai who likes to like let the person who's picking it up, like, do it, pick it up. We're getting ready for the next step. So it drives me crazy that like I'm standing before, because the Torah's up. And so that line makes me very anxious. But that's me. Any questions?
So many.
So many.
No. Just practice.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
So you're gonna send us the recording?
I'm
and
gonna
the
send you the
are you gonna send us
recording
the printout
that-
too?
that you can slow down the lady that in the recording.
Are you gonna send us the printout too? Or do we do it in the live shalom?
Yeah, I will send you the link to this page.
But it's in, I mean, it's Lev Shalom if you
It's
have it.
Lev Shalem, right?
Right.
Lev Shalom.
So. All right, so this is actually page 30 in the screenshot. But
So will you tell us like what page it is in Lev Shalom, since we won't have it, in front of us?
Page 136.
Okay, so I won't remember that.
okay, there we go. I just wrote it in the email that I'm gonna send you. How do you like that?
Perfect.
All right. So let me tell you what's on my agenda. Adon Olam and Mishaberach for next week. And we'll go from there.
The prayer for Israel in our congregation, they always sing it. Unless we have someone Israeli, then they speak it. They do not sing. We've had several family members or Israeli. Do they not sing it? Do they just say it? Or
They
is
don't
that
sing it in
We
Israel, they
always
say
say
it.
it.
Yeah. And what tunes do they use, Jamie?
I don't know it, but my kids
right.
do. So like, when their friends become bar bat mitzvah, they usually pick someone in their religious school class to come up,
Nice.
but they sing it.
So they sing it in English?
No, they sing the Hebrew.
Oh, see, we always do that one. That's one of the few, the prayer for our congregation, for Israel, for our country, all that. That's the part of our shul that they do in English. So people that don't know Hebrew.
Yeah, and ours,
Right.
everything's English except the prayer for all those prayers. It's all, honorary kind of prayers. But the prayer for Israel, they sing in Hebrew.
All right, I'm pulling it up just so I can look at
Okay.
it.
But
And we
then
can go
when
over that
we've
too.
had
Hold on.
Israeli family members come, they never sing it. They
Right.
always speak it.
You don't sing it in Israel. It's just a
I think they must sing it because
it
it's
is.
religious school kids who are given that honor, and they sing it so that they know it. And they usually start out at the beginning, and then the people that know it kind of sing along.
okay, here it is. And I'm gonna make it bigger if I can. There we go. Okay. So they sing Avinu, Avinu, Shema Shamayim. Okay.
I didn't realize that's what you were talking about. Yeah, we
So
sing it.
that's an American thing. That's
Okay.
not a
Oh,
It's not an
interesting.
Israeli thing.
So
And by the
Marcy, do
way,
you sing it?
Yes,
most
we
of
sing it.
you guys
And
sing
I
it,
actually know it
Marcy?
by heart. That's one of the ones I can actually
Right.
know.
There you go. Because it's slower. It's easier
Mhm.
to do. But
Mhm.
right, so in my congregation, we say it. We don't really sing it. And every once in a while, when somebody gets up and sings it, they're like, oh. Matter of fact, my girlfriend asked me to say it at her son's bar mitzvah, so I sang it. And afterwards, she was like, that was lovely. We've never sang it before.
Yeah,
And we've always sung it. I guess I didn't realize everybody does it.
yeah.
So everybody
That's what
does
we
it
do,
just
yeah.
a little bit differently. Exactly.
And we have a new rabbi, so he does things a little differently too.
Oh, gotcha.
Mostly for Mishaberach, the prayer for
Mhm.
healing. We always sang both verses and then in English, and he does Hebrew, English, Hebrew, English. So he just
Okay.
does it a little. Oh no, he announces the people for whom we're praying in between the verses, where we usually would announce everyone and then sing both.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
he puts it in the middle.
Right. That's a minhag. That's what we do. We do
Middle.
the first phrase and then say the names and then do the second phrase. But I've been in synagogues where they do the whole,
Mhm.
We have anybody in the congregation that wants to come up, they make, it's a very long line usually, unfortunately, come up and say the name to the rabbi, and then the rabbi repeats it, and we do all that before we do the prayers.
right. We used to do that. And then it was just say the name out loud from your seat.
Oh,
And
ours
then
is
everybody
read
gets to say their name. Everybody says it at the same time. It sounds like, rhubarb applesauce, whatever. And then they continue, they do the list that they have, and then they say, if there's a name you'd like to add, please do so from your seat.
Oh,
Because
they
it
have a
used to be a
stand.
Right.
production
Uh,
Of
They
everybody
just have
coming
us
up.
read it. Because
uh,
our list, my congregation's large, our list is listed in the Shabbat handout you get when you walk in, but
mm,
it's 3 columns long, unfortunately. It couldn't-
Wow.
They read all the names for, if you, even for, Kaddish, they'll just read the names that you tell the person when you're walking in that you'd like the name read because you're there. Although they're reading more now because some people are on Zoom, but
Right.
yeah, but because it's the lists are just, when during the pandemic, they read, because everybody was on Zoom, they just read everybody.
Yeah.
Long time, because unfortunately there were a
Ours
lot.
does. It takes a long time.
ours is too tiny. So they announce the names on the list. And then if you have one, you stand up and the rabbi will point to you and you say the name, sit down. Point to the next one, sit down.
Now,
So
do they say the name in
that's
Hebrew
5
or
to 10.
English or both?
Some people announce the names in Hebrew, their Hebrew names, and some say English names, just depending on who they are and who they're praying for and if they know the name in Hebrew. Most are English.
And my shul most are Hebrew, and just last week I was at services and I found out someone was who's not Jewish has breast cancer. And so I wanted to go up and say, but everybody was saying Hebrew, and she obviously doesn't have a Hebrew name, so
Right.
I just didn't do it. I thought it.
We can still pray for her.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Well, have a good week.
You
And I will
too.
see you next week.
Thanks,
All right.
Lymor.
Thank you. Shabbat
Bye.
shalom,
Bye.
everyone.
Shabbat shalom.